my absolutely beautiful Leo friends, and welcome to your horoscope for February of 2023, where I am happy to report that we have forward motion this month. I feel like for weeks and months and weeks and months, I've been saying, Leo, okay, pause, hold, review, and Leo, this month, let's go. Let's go. Let's be about it. Let's do it. We have picked up some speed. Mercury and Mars are out of retrograde. We've also got other planets out of retrograde. So it is like, we're coming back online. And while this is a month of finishing, bringing some things to completion, there is a moon happening in your sign that is really asking you to step up and take action to put yourself in the game. We are doing it in a way that is moving energy forward. And I think what a beautiful thing to be welcoming in February of 2023, right? Okay, Leo, before we jump in and see what's going on in this beautiful month, I want to remind you to grab your digital transit calendar from our friends at Wise Sky Collective. They are giving us an Astrology Soulmate discount of $17 off. And this calendar is a labor of love. Tiffany puts every single transit, 365 days, and sometimes that is multiple transits in a day, the void, of course, moon time, all of the lunations, plus a description of how to use that energy. And she does what I do, tracks you forward and backwards in the pattern so you can see when this is going to happen again. When did it happen last time? And see the effects on your life. So grab your calendar. You can integrate it with your own calendar, and all day long as transits are happening, you actually get a little notice to your phone or to your calendar, and you could be like, cool, Mercury's in retrograde, let me hold on for just a minute. So grab yours, $17 discount. The code is in the description box down below. All right, Leo. So as we're coming into this month, I want you to keep in mind just a couple things. First of all, Saturn and Pluto are in the last degrees of being in Aquarius and Capricorn respectively. When we get into March, Saturn's going to move into Pisces and Pluto is going to move for a time into the energy of Aquarius. So we do have these signatures truly of finish things. Let's finish them. Let's bring them to a close this month. So all of this review time that you have been in, now you can make some decisions and see them coming forward and see them coming to fruition, really, truly, starting this month and fully in March, okay? But at the beginning of the month, on the 5th, we've got a full moon at 16 degrees of Leo. So right here in your first house, in your sign. Now, the full moon is asking you to end something, acknowledge something, or to make an adjustment, Leo. And this is at an emotional level. So the question here is, what makes you you? What do you need to express? What do you need to say it with your chest out? What do you need to talk about? Right? Where are you ready to initiate joy in your own life? Now, this particular moon is in a square to Uranus and the transiting North Node that are in Taurus. So it's a fixed square. You're a fixed energy, so is Taurus. So what you're ending, acknowledging, and adjusting, it can feel a little bit like it's grinding on you because it's asking you to get out of a comfort zone where maybe what you've been doing is thinking more about, how does this fit over here for everybody else? How does this work in my relationships? Leo, has it been so much about the relationship that you've kind of emotionally lost your own voice? Or is it that something is presenting itself to you and you're like, wow, I really value this. This really excites me. I think this would be pleasurable, and I want to talk about it. I want to bring it up and out into the open, and it will bring a freedom and an independence and a new life or an innovation into myself and into my relationships. So do some reflecting at this particular moon. Also, what don't you value anymore that you're ready to surrender? You're like, that is truly not important to me anymore. And if I move in my own truth, I have the freedom that I crave. So a beautiful moon to be working on that. When we get to the 11th, we see Mercury moving into the energy of Aquarius. So it is out of its post-retrograde shadow time. Mercury, thinking, communicating, decision-making planet, fully moving forward. So sign that contract, have that conversation. Now, we do have Mercury moving over into the space where the sun is also at. So now it is about everybody else, right? It is about your relationships, conscious, chosen, one-on-one relationships in your life. And this can be romantic, a marriage, you're getting into one, you're getting out of one. You decide to take on someone, you're going to be more serious with them. A business partnership. You with the divine energy, right? Any place where we see conscious chosen cooperation to include your open enemies, okay? You know that there's a problem or there's an issue or a conflict with this person or this entity. You're also getting an opportunity to make some decisions, have some conversations. You may also just be gathering information in your relationship zone, but you're doing it from kind of unexpected sources. Or it's like, you could even be researching things, Aquarius, on the internet with an astrologer. The Aquarian energy is the sign of the astrologer. So you could be working in that realm as well. But whatever it is, Mercury is free to make some solid, sorted decisions at this particular time. When we get to the 18th, we see the sun enter into the energy of Pisces. And when we get to the 20th, we're going to see a new moon happening in the energy of Pisces at 1 degree. Okay, now this is going to start the season of lighting up your 8th house space. So in the 8th house, I want you to think intimacy. You see into me. So you're connected deeply to another resource where if that resource changes, you will be impacted or affected. So we can look at partnership. If your partner loses their job, what does that do in your dynamic? With healing or trauma, as you release and you go through that, as you heal, as that is released, you change in that healing, right? But death, debt, taxes, your money, your independent money as well can be seen here. So we have intimacy and assets essentially that live in the 8th house space. So as the sun is happening here and the new moon is giving you the opportunity to plant your seeds of intention in this Pisces energy, it is literally calling in a cycle and an attitude for you of holding the vision of what you would like in the most intimate place in your chart. Also things that have to do with sex, reproductive organs, reproductive health. This could be on your table and on your agenda as well. And what's the vision that you have? What's your vision of ideal and perfection? Because you can make great changes when we're dealing with Pisces energy, because it begins in the space of the intangible creation that later you work to make tangible. And it's also a question for you, Leo, at this point in the 8th house, which sometimes the deepest fear that we have in the 8th house can be that we're actually going to be successful at what we do. So with Pisces vibration, it also calls your attention to the level of faith and trust that you have to allow your vision to play out. And I say faith and trust because I know a lot of people who have faith, right? It's word magic. It's a belief magic. Yes, I just really want this for myself, or I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try and adjust my vibration to get it to come to me, right? And those people are very unhappy, right? They're very unhappy. So I want you to ask yourself, do you just have faith in your dream or your vision? Or do you have faith, which is the universe has got me, this is the vision that I want, plus trust, which means I'm taking action, like the universe has already made it happen for me, like the universe has got my back, even if it doesn't come out, right? Because faith plus trust is the space this season that Pisces energy is calling to you. It is not the sitting and vibrating with the hopes that it's going to work out. It's where you're actually taking action to trust that divine vibration, okay? Now, also on the 20th, we are going to see Venus move into the energy of Aries just a minute, just like 1 minute after this moon happens. And this starts to light up your 9th house space. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, higher education, international things, travel, big dreams are also living here as well. Faith, philosophies, teachers in your life, okay? And as Venus is working here, Venus in Aries is like, I'm going to clunk you over my head. I'm going to conquer. I'm going to chase. I'm going to go get it. You're like, and I don't apologize for any of it, right? Boom, I'm on it. I'm going. Yes, you can use Venus that way. But Venus in a position of power, Venus is an attracting in energy. So call it. Make your moves to initiate some action here, and then let what is right for you, let that program, let that teacher, let the public, from your podcast, your YouTube, let the ease of learning that language, making those travel plans come to you. Receive aggressively, receive assertively. That is when Venus is in power in the energy of Aries. Now, the other thing I just want to point out is that Venus in Aries can be a great time for relationships or finance to come this way for sure. But Venus can have a short attention span. right? Venus and Aries can have a short attention span, so it's like, ooh, I like it right now. So I would suggest not making long-term commitment to something until Venus moves into Taurus March 17th, okay? Because you can be thinking you're hot and heavy and ready to have it right now, and you realize 3 weeks from now that you don't really want long-term commitment there. So instead, use it as an initiation energy. Investigate what's coming to you. Investigate what's out there. Make a solid decision if you're going to stick with it in a couple weeks so you can see if you're genuinely energetic going to invest, okay? All right, my beautiful Leo friends, have a gorgeous month. Let me know in the comment section down below how this is manifesting with you. And if you are listening to this and not sure how to find these transits in your chart, I've got a video in the description box down below how to find the active transit in your chart. So make sure you check that out so you can see specifically for you where is the department of life? Which house is this activating for you? That's the most accurate way to use your general forecasts, okay? All right, my beautiful friends, I love you, and I'll see you next month. Bye, Leo.